Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters. Sulaiman Rahim here, Master of the Covenant, Breaker of Seven Seals. I have two special presentations, but I'm not sure I'll get to the second one maybe later or tomorrow. But battle cry, brothers and sisters. War is here. They're at war with us. We just don't know it. We just don't realize it. The war started. In fact, they declared war on us about 40 years ago. Keep that in your mind. They declared war on us 40 years ago. So at this point in time, either we're defeated nation, capitulated nation, that means gave up. Well, that's defeated also, right? But as long as there's one warrior standing, the battle's not over. See? So we were defeated here, right? But we had a battle. So we had a commander wasn't defeated because he came and visited troops back in the 30s to say, hey, this war is not over. It's not. And say, light Muhammad up to rally the troops. And the enemy see that, they said, oh man, let's pump the volume. Okay? This is what's going on, brothers and sisters. Okay? They sent in a traitor, infiltrator, right? Turn us around, right? $5,000 right here, brothers and sisters. See, because that traitor, that demon, legion, has got you convinced that the war is over. That's what we've been convincing you. Oh man, I don't want to leave here. I love this place. See, he's trying to get convinced because as long as the war is over, then we're the captives. We're slaves. See, and we're supposed to do what they tell us to do because we're captives. We don't have a nation. He's not even talking nation, really. When you think about it, because he wants to stay here, want to be with them, and you're gonna bring. I mean, if you got two nations, right? If you mix the nations together, you don't have two nations anymore. You got something else, a hybrid nation. That's what he wants to do, bring it all together. So he don't even want to keep you as a nation if you listen carefully to what he's saying. See, there's a hybrid nation, right? Then you're not a nation at all. And really, you just food for the other nation. That's all we've been. We produce gold for them. They turn the gold into shit. They feed us shit, and we turn it back to gold for them. $5,000 right there. Right? For anyone who can prove that what lying son of a devil, Farrakhan's preaching is consistent with the lessons, supreme wisdom of Master Farrakhan Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's representation of his teacher, Master Farrakhan's teachings. And you can't prove that. They know about it. It's been out there for years. They haven't stepped up. They say no one calls him a liar. He said it's Sunday. Well, they know about this, so that means he's lying right there. I've been calling him a liar for 30-some years. Openly. Presentations. This right here is one. It's been out for years. This particular call him a liar because he's a liar. And also right here, right? This is a challenge. He said nobody takes a challenge him. That's the challenge right there, isn't it? Isn't that a challenge right there? That's show you line right there. Of course, see, one thing Farrakhan never does, which Elijah Muhammad always did, because I was there with Elijah Muhammad from 775, Q&A. Elijah Muhammad showed up, you have a session where you could ask questions. Farrakhan never does that, never. Because he can't answer questions. Those questions would destroy him. Just a couple of one well-placed question will blow his ass away. Even more definitively as them radiation pellets blew his ass away. One brown sisters. Let's look at this. See, we're gonna lay a foundation here right now. I allow him the best know. It's a lot of speaking. Let's jump right down to the chase, right? Okay. It says this book. There's no doubt it. There's a lot of speaking. It's a guide, right? And who believe in that which spell with given revealed to thee, I would reveal before thee. What was given? What was revealed to thee? That's the Quran here. Well, but they say there's something wrong with the Bible. And the second presentation I'm going to show you, they show they just lied about that too. Said Elijah Muhammad said the Quran was the best book. He never said anything like that. Not at least when I was there. I was there 5 years. He taught us the lessons. He pointed to because the Quran doesn't verify Elijah like as the Bible does. That's a point to Malachi to verify his mission. His mission is not verified in the Quran, at least not openly. That's why he taught the Bible. He said, "Oh no, well, I don't recall it anyway." Move on. So that means you have to believe in the Bible. That's what Allah speaking. Now I recognize there's bad translations, but the manuscripts are there. The original manuscripts are there. Let's go back to that. And look at this. The who can see all the book that is revealed and take a small price, but find it does. Do I have oops.
Do you then believe?
Those are all the book that they do it openly. So this is nothing that you have to. This is not conspiracy theory. Just pay attention on Sundays. They can sell. They look at it. You ever heard them talk about the mention of the covenant? It's right there with talking about Elijah and Malachi. If you talk about that, they can steal that part. Why? Because that comes after Elijah. They claim nobody's after Elijah. But it's right there. The message of the covenant will come in Elijah's temple. So they cover that up. They can steal that part. And then when you go to the message, you go to Elijah, Abraham's the vision about 40 years and in a strange land and all that. Well, the next verse it says, after that 40 years in the fourth generation, this generation here, we return home to Arabia. Between the Euphrates, Great Euphrates, and the Egyptian River, which is Arabia, look on the map. But they conceal that part too. Never speak up. He said, we ain't going nowhere. So not only to conceal it, but he calling God a liar. That's God's word right there. He says, God's lie, we ain't going nowhere. And I even call Elijah a liar. Because Elijah said, we're leaving here. Because I'm an FOI. And we had a big old picture in the FOI meetings. They probably had the MGT too, of a big boat and planes leaving here and leaving a Negro bus like Farrakhan on the shore with the white folks beating it with sticks. That was clear. Clear message, we're leaving here. Separation. But he said no. So we get into that. And my second presentation getting that more deeply.
Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you? Do you then believe in a part of the book and disbelieve in the other? What then is the reward of such among you as do this but disgrace in the life of this world, and on the day of resurrection they shall be sent back to the most grievous chastisement. And Allah is not heedless of what you do. 86 These are they who buy the life of this world for the hereafter, so their chastisement shall not be lightened, nor shall they be helped.
They openly do that. Openly. There's no conspiracy theory. Just pay attention to them. If you read the Bible, they say openly do it all the time. That's what I was talking about. So that means they don't fear Allah. They don't fear God. They don't believe in any of that stuff. Because it tells you right there, they do it openly. It's not, you don't have to go in and get a microscope. They do it openly. Be part of the book, this, being the other. And so it was the most grievous chastisement. We'll see. Because, hey, we're here. We're in the year. September's a month. It says the month of hell. We'll see. See how close I am, if I'm right or wrong. This is the month of hell. When everything's going to break loose. Every time I know, watch the weather. When that war resumes in the Middle East, Checkmate. Let me play this, brothers and sisters.
I gotta do this. Do you mind? Yes, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to put my brother on the spot. See, this is this. This is something else. Love and faith transcends color. And the reason why we embrace Father Flagler as a brother is because we find him on the battlefield of justice, being a true disciple of Jesus. And the last thing I'll say is, you'll never call us racist.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because this day that we honor,
Yes, sir.
Master Fard Muhammad, if you see an image of him, put his image up.
Yes, sir.
That's the man whose father was a black man and his mother a Caucasian. And how many of us have a parent that's a Caucasian or grandparent? It's not about color. It's about our submission to the will of God. And in that we find common ground and unity.
Yes, sir.
So I'm only one shade lighter than you, so. And Mustafa maybe 4 more shades lighter. We a family.
Yes, sir.
Let's stay a family and be a family and love each other as God would have us to love each other. We love you, Father. Happy Savior's Day. Thank you. I had to do that. We love you. Go ahead.
One more time, brother.
That's some sick shit there. That has nothing to do with Elijah Muhammad. Absolutely nothing. Elijah Muhammad was rolling. He cut that fool's throat. That's probably his son. If he saw him doing that, he would cut his throat himself. Pull out his tongue, cut his throat. I guarantee you that. Nothing to do with Elijah Muhammad. I was there. This is what's going on here. See here? That's Farrakhan. He's handing you a handful of shit, right? Topped with Scientology. But the thing is that he can't track you with that. He have to track you with fragrance of Elijah. See? That's what he's doing. He's spraying Elijah. Oh, see? Like a putting worm on a hook. The fish go after the worm, gets the hook. And that's what you go after that. Oh man, look at this. That's the scent of Elijah. That's it. Oh, look like roses. That's roses of Elijah. Right? Texture. And then what you get is nothing but shit. Because that's all it is. Turn on the lion. That's what he does. Because he doesn't represent Elijah in any way, form, shape, or fashion. Prove me wrong. Come and get your $5,000. That's to attract you. Because why is it why? You got it. Because NOI is the seed that's going to bloom, branch out, and bloom, bring all the nation together. Because they get their mind first, and then they go out and get the rest. And they right at the core. That's what that's all about. Come lying, Farrakhan. Shit. Top with Scientology. That's your religion. Because if you go over there, don't take my word for it, go over there, knows it's over there, knows the truth. You get a full dose of, what's his name? L. Ron Hubbard. That's what I want to talk about. L. Ron Hubbard. They say, oh, well, when they be talking about what Farrakhan's done, ask them, what is Farrakhan done for you? Ask them, get specific. And you find out, oh, Scientology got my mind back. They worship L. Ron Hubbard. Scientology. He saved them because now their mind's good. They're clear now with their engrams and carrying on. I was over there. I know that time. I wasn't over there as a believer. I went on an investigation for about 6 months. Well, you might say I was undercover, but whatever. So I ain't asked to do this. I'm just doing what the job requires. I didn't ask to do it. In fact, I don't even want to do it. But it's not what I want. Not my will be done, but thine will be done. Oh, didn't he say that's bad news? I'm not happy doing it. I'm not happy doing this. I've got no joy in it. I've lost everything. Well, I mean, if you look at this world's life, yeah, I've lost it all. Children, everything else. Right? To do this. The word was given. And I'm not sure if the Levites have words of that word, but they was given a word. They was given a word. If they went along the tribe of Shabazz and they went through the Holocaust, right? They submitted. They're angels too, right? All angels that submitted. Well, they submitted. You think only think of it. It says told the angels submit, but all angels, if you understand, angels include all the tribes. So they was part of. They didn't all. They was part of. They was part of angels submitted, but they from Noah tribe. But they, all Shabazz submitted. They probably submitted, and they say, "Oh, if you submit, right, you get the same reward that the other ones do that submitted." And so they submitted. And they went through the Holocaust with us. Some of them failed. They couldn't go all the way. So they got it. So now I'm here to fulfill that word that was given to them. It's hard. But they move, these Levites, boy. You read the Bible, and they're always talking about Levites all the time. How difficult they are. I try to put a nice spin on it because, that difficulty is good if you're going in the right direction. If you're stubborn, but you're stubborn for truth, man, you a monster. If you're stubborn and going the wrong direction, man, then oh man. Right now, because when their mind turn, God damn, they're gonna be something. When their mind start getting the right direction, hard heads they are. I'd run that battalion. I wouldn't get in their way. I wouldn't get in their way once their mind get in the right direction. Because they're the most stubborn people on the planet. But the scripture says, right, their heads like stone, but it says, Son of Man, I made your head like flintstone, head hard than theirs. Because that's what you need to deal with them. Because flintstone breaks stones. So you had somebody that was head harder than theirs. That could stay with this job and stick with it. So, the thing is, once you get the mathematics of it, then you see how things really are. Because, if you don't learn the mathematics, that's just news, man. But then you understand the mathematics of it, right? That's why they're a priest tribe. Because they're powerful. It's going to turn the wrong direction. They say, easy leaving the wrong direction, hard leaving the right direction. Once you get in the right direction, but right now, man, ooh, it's painful. John said he wanted to kill himself. Said, man, oh man, deal with damn Levites. You guys say damn, but that's you read it. That's what he was thinking. Right? He ran away for 3 years. Got caught down in Demon Island for 3 years because he said, man, I don't want to deal with them, man. It's woo. But like I've been saying, and I have to say it over and over again. What's motivating me is a little deeper than that. Because the sisters we can't distinguish on that. Become the sisters. Sisters saved the nation. They saved both nations, but they didn't know whether they was Levites or Shabazz. They would just put their life on line and save the nation. And so, for that point of view, I'm not gonna make any distinction. I'm winning for 100%. So I'm gonna do it. That's the job's gonna get done. Giving up, haven't been paused. Right? Been fighting this. From this point of view, 35 years, haven't slowed down yet. The promise was made, the promise will be kept. It's more brothers and sisters. The Farrakhan, essence of Elijah, spread on this bullshit. You won't be around much longer, I told you. We're running out of time. Without calculate, it will resume in a couple more days in September, which means we'll be under attack by October. We'll get into that, bro, because we're talking about the war today. See here? This is the actual fact. Why is he naked? Because I've exposed him. I ripped the clothes off of him. What is he doing? He's shitting on Elijah and Master Farrakhan Muhammad. That's what he's doing. He's shitting on them. He's not teaching their teachings. If he can show me his teaching, I give him $5,000. Show me how he's representing Elijah Muhammad and Master Farrakhan Muhammad, and I give $5,000. I make it public, right? You know, I'm saying it right in front of everybody. All you gotta do is show that I didn't do it, and they're gonna hit. Now, that's, well, you know, it shuts me down. They haven't stepped forward to do that yet. Why? There's no one out there that's consuming him like I am. I hate that word, consume, boy. Ooh. Said who the Lord will consume a spirit's mouth. We say that cripple or something. Consume, when you consume something, right, you got to eat it. You're taking out of existence, man, but you got to taste it while you're taking out of existence. Damn. I like dealing with these demons because, man, I got to listen to that crap and all the boy deal with them. Just taking them out, man, that's one thing. It says you use the word consume, right? I mean, I got to deal with them personally. Listen to their shit. Use the word consume. I said, man, it took me a while to kind of say, why do you use that word consume? And I thought about, oh man, after I started have some deals with some of these folks. That's why I said it's a loveless job, bro. There's nothing good about it. Promise is made, a promise be kept. That's what he's doing. Tell me different, Farrakhan. Show me different, because you're not. We got all kinds of. I got my next presentation. I'm not sure I'm gonna do today. Breaks all this down. You're gonna tell me that he's representing Elijah Muhammad's teaching. I got a whole bunch of your videos and everything saying your words that you're totally going directly against their teachings. Directly, not indirectly, directly. I think I got a couple of my showing here, but I'm probably get it done tomorrow or later today. Will of Allah. Maybe it's here. Maybe I got it here. Okay, I got something here. Let's see what happens.
I believe that America can be beautiful. How can America be made beautiful? Now, family, listen. My brother Imam Wadafuddin and I have had disagreement. But his followers and mine have never given each other as much as a bloody nose. Because in spite of our differences, there's a deep love in us. We don't like the things about our nation that is not good, but I don't want to live anywhere else. I want America to be made right. I don't want to see America go the way of Rome and Babylon and Sodom and Gomorrah. But why won't she go that way? If the men of religion and the women of religion keep silent.
Now, like I said, my second presentation is going to deal with this. But up this off the top, there are a lot of Thomas teachers there. You know, when you read in there about, he says Messiah, but you read it Messiah in there, Messiah says, he comes to destroy America. And he enjoys doing it. He said, none will survive. None will get away. He's going to destroy them all, trample them down the ground. Man, we made sure all of them. That's what he's saying. But he says he's the Messiah. So what, he got schizophrenic? I'll say he's saying one thing out of one side of his mouth, something else. And then this Wallace guy, I don't care what they say. You don't have to really, you can just go check. Wallace was totally against his father, totally, openly. Called for a liar and everything else. Until he died of diabetes. I guess you read I to Live, right? He totally against his father, openly, publicly. He's got to put articles in Chicago sometime and everything else. Even after his father departed, Farrakhan said himself, he went totally against his father. Farrakhan said so right away, but then why was he with him for 2 or 3 years? If you said it, he said it, I got him saying it. Everybody knew what Wallace would do because everybody knew what Wallace was. He claimed, oh well, we knew he had a history, but we thought it's hard to change. You ain't think that's a goddamn lie. Because the point is, he was actually exiled at the time that he took over. How did that happen? That's a good mind. He was totally exiled at the time. We got him on saying it. I was there. I get in charge. I'm not going to that right. I'm going to my next presentation, brothers and sisters. See what that's what he's saying? That sounds like the Messiah? Was going to war? A warlord? This Messiah is a warlord. We went to Habakkuk, right? He said, that's battle. They come for battle. He said, he going for battle? But he wants to save the enemy. He don't want nothing to happen to them. Something wrong there, ain't it? But see, I'm not talking to you out here that got your head up his ass. You keep your head up his ass. We don't want you. Because you ain't there for the truth. Because if you did for the truth, you wouldn't be there. You're there because some emotional context. Oh, he's cute. Nice glasses. He talks so nice. But he got that nice straight hair or whatever. But you ain't there for truth. Because there's nothing in there that backs up this bullshit he's talking about. Nothing. If he's Aaron, he's bad news. You know how you call it. His father's a devil. That means, based on biology, says he's a devil too. No matter how you cut this shit, it comes out shit. You can't clean shit. Now, see this, right? Okay, Suleiman here, Messenger of the Covenant. I've tried the wine press alone. The people, there was none with me, for I've tread down my anger and trampled in my fury. See some of the Levites here. They no help at all. None. Just getting away. What it says right there. He tried. I looked, there was none to help. He tried. We couldn't get him to do anything. What it says right here, so this is a lie? This is prophecy. I've tried the wine press alone. Of the people, there was none with me. For I would tread them in mine anger and trample down in my fury. Their blood is sprinkled upon my garments. These are the ones that are resisting. Right? That's what he's going to crush. I looked, there was none to help. I wanted, there was none to uphold. For therefore my own arm brought salvation to me in my fury. Furious. Couldn't get none of the Levites help. They're just getting away. Cause problems. It says right here. But there's such a consequence. They better be careful with that one. They're going to say, you with me or against me? So you better I'm not doing anything. Because if you're getting in the way, that means that's resistance, isn't it? You're hurting the message.
Three. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me, for I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. 5. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold, therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury, it upheld me. 6. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
Did you get the point? He's a warrior by himself. He don't have any followers. You don't have any warriors. They were right. The only warriors if they on the battlefield, they'll kill the enemy. But if they on the battlefield getting in the way, they're not warriors. That's problematic. He's on the battlefield by himself. And so all these other clowns they call it little followings and all that kind of stuff. Right, so let them keep them on. You see, messenger show up, right? When he takes over, he's gonna be alone. Okay, let's get to the battle plan. The battle for the planet. Okay, oops. Here we go again. Hold on, brothers and sisters. No, I forgot. Hold on a second. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, boss, this is a day of battle. So I got a few things. I'll never get to all of them. I see that right now. Okay. Let's go here first. And what you're witnessing here, brothers and sisters, that America's hitting us. Yes. Actually, I can get the new one. The bottom line is, 20 years of constant beating us. We're told to submit, not retaliate. But see, you have to understand the mathematics of it. Every act has an opposite reaction. I told somebody the other day, looked at me like, well, you can tell it's a Christian because that's not what Christianity teaches. Christianity says that's exception to that. Because if you do bad, all you got to do is call on Jesus and it's forgiven. That's bullshit. Yeah, if you want to, if that's the opposite equal reaction, forgiveness doesn't mean it's wiped away, the consequence wiped away. It means diverted. Well, let me change that word, not diverted, right? It's reconfigured. So you go out there and punch somebody in the face, they don't punch you back. Then you go down the street somewhere, right? And somebody throw a rock, hit you in the head. Well, you see what I'm saying? It's going to come back to you one way or the other. Maybe reconfigure, but it's coming back to you. You're not going to escape it. No one even leaves this planet without your record balanced. You can't. I know you think you can. Oh, I just killed myself. Your record will be balanced. Maybe that killing yourself is balancing the record. You understand what I'm saying? You can't get around it. It's impossible. So understand that. I'll show it one more time, right? I got the old one that has meant to do it. But over 40 years, it kept on. That's what we told. See what you call that? That's called a C bomb. I call it a C bomb. Most powerful bomb in the unit, more powerful than a nuclear bomb. Because it's consequence, C bombs, consequence bomb. Now you don't you see. I'm trying to give you the mathematics, so you see here we just Farrakhan. You can prove everything. You can't prove a goddamn thing Farrakhan says. You can prove all this mathematically, because every action has opposite equal reaction. There's no exception to that. So if that's the case, then if you don't react, that means you're damming that up. You're damming up the reaction, right? So then you understand what the Bible's talking about, because it says we was told to submit. So we submit to all the shit they did to us for 40 years. Look at the condition we're in. We all messed up because we've been taking all that shit in, right? They changed our name, they changed our religion, they changed our cultures, changed everything about some, changed our skin color and everything else. Okay? Let's take it in. They done all that to us. We just took it in, so submit. Some of us didn't. Like Haiti, they said, man, it took about 200 years. They said, hey, I can't take no more of this. Right? I think Jamaicans, but we took it all. Some of us, some of us rebelled, but for the most part, we took it all. But where is it? It's stored up in us. Because look at our condition. Our condition is a result of 400 years oppression. You understand that? This is not the way condition we came in. We all messed up condition now, diabetes and high blood pressure and all this stuff because the food is stored up. Because if we'd have fought back every time I did it, so we would be in this condition. We'd be in a state of war for 400 years. Like they are with the Sunnis, but we would be, right? We wouldn't be in this condition we're in. We still have names, we have our land, so forth, so on. But we just submit. So it's stored up. See? And I gotta try to give an analogy, like you have somebody and here you are 100 pounds weaker than that's got 100 pounds of muscle. And you say, man, so you punch you in the face, 5 pounds, 10 pounds of force in the chest, bam. Oh man, right? Every day for a year. You got 24 hours to readjust. So you can adjust, but then you hit again, bam, every time all that's where that force is going. It's in you. But you don't retaliate. But consequence says there will be a retaliation. But as long as you hold it in, then you hold it in. It ain't going anywhere. Remember, if you hold it in, it's not going to come out in another form because you got it. It's in you. It's not going to come out. It's not come out the devil's in another form because it's still us in us. We have it bottled up. You said, well, you said if you don't respond, it's going to come back another way, right? That's the case. If you don't respond, hold it in. Hold in this. Look at the condition we're in. If it doesn't change your condition, right, then it's going to come out another way if you don't respond. But look at the condition. We totally messed up as a people. That's a result of 400 years of oppression. You understand? So here it is that 300-pound bully, all muscle, and you're 100 pounds, and you're taking that shit every day for a year. cut up. You all messed up, man. At the end of the year, man, you might be in a wheelchair or something. You all messed up, right? But then you retaliate. Remember, you got the 10 pounds, 360 days. That's 3,600 pounds of force that you absorbed. So if you hit him back that one day, now he might be 300 pounds, but he can handle 360 pounds of force? One punch? Probably not. Probably destroy him. That's how you overcome a bully like that. See, that's called C-bomb. It's more powerful than a nuclear bomb because it got GPS on it. And it destroys the force that caused it. It don't, like atomic bomb, just blow stuff, break stuff up. This destroys the force that caused it. Consequence destroys the force that caused it. You understand that? So if we respond to what they did to us, that means they totally destroyed. Because it said we're going to put Babylon, we'll get one day what they did for 40 years. That's a C-bomb. That's wisdom. But see, you don't understand it because you don't understand the Bible. You understand the math behind it. Let's show it one more time, brothers and sisters, and then I'm going to go to the next one. See, it's hit. We ain't retaliating. We're just taking it. We're just taking it. The force against ourselves. It said man was beating himself. Just keep taking it. Technical issues, brothers and sisters, getting worse and worse. Oh, boy. These not just freak technical issues. It's something, I'm being hacked and everything else. It's getting worse all the time. Put that back here. Oh. Mm-mm-mm. My boss is like I said, technically she holding it up. We're right the first time. I did the second time and I'm gonna try to do that's not work, but just let it go. Hit us every day. Just keep hitting us, beating us, oppressing us every day. 24/7, 365, 40 years. We're just taking it in, not responding. Told we submit. Told the angels submit. We submitted. Some didn't, but we did. And they said 400, why 400 years? The scientists figure said they can only take 400 years of this before they blow. See, when you take that, so much you can take before it destroys you. So how much they can take? They take 400 years of that part, and now they won't be able to blow. That's why, for Pharaoh, get him out, let him go. Think about it, blow. See, here it is. Elijah Muhammad says, no. He came and said, no, don't blow when you blow outward. They're the enemy, not us, we're the enemy. Because they had to think we're the enemy. Then Farrakhan come back and change it back again. No, it's us. You're sinful, you're wicked. That's why you're here. We're the enemy, right? It's your mind, Scientology. But we blow, we destroy each other. See, we destroy each other. And that's what Suma had to come and say, no, because we about to blow, we took all we can. We're the enemy, the devil's our enemy, not us. See? You see what I'm saying? So bam. Now we're blowing. They're going to attack us. 20 years, this is one year. They hit all that. 1 year. Took us 40 years to build it up. 1 year. See it? That's what Scripture's telling you. They can't handle it. We have more power than they have right now. It's just got to be released in the right direction. That's why I got to attack it for it is. If that's the case. Come on, brothers and sisters. Okay. Your weapons. If you got weapons, you don't understand, brothers and sisters. This is your defense right here. This is your bulletproof vest right here. See? Because they coming at you. This is your bulletproof vest right here, the 5 pillars. I explained in detail the other presentation. I can do it here. That's your bulletproof vest. No hair in your hair will be harmed. Right? Consequences is fundamental. It's lots. They tell you prayer. You understand what prayer is. You caught. Keep it balanced in your favor. That's positive energy. Fasting so you be focused. Discipline. Right? Discipline times energy is power. Harmonic motion, that means everybody moving in the same direction. Steely, how do you say it? A steely great army. See, that's your bulletproof vest right there. You're in tribulation. You're going to need this. See? So when getting all your weapons you have, right? You got a lot of weapons you don't know about. See? That they want you to know about it. And that's what Farrakhan is to get you. Okay, I said C-bomb. What's the next one here? These understand now. That one here. Let's put that here. Okay, that's not what I'm going to do right here. Let's see. I'm going to talk about this in a minute. No, let me back up. Oh, get ahead of myself. Okay, it must be here. Seasons. Okay, so my mentions in heaven and earth will not come to you above a sudden. See, they don't know what that means. Spirits don't know what it means, whatever. In brief, brothers and sisters, energy, there's a limited amount of energy in the universe. You cannot create it, you cannot destroy it. And this is even devils, they understand that. You can create energy and you can't destroy it, it just exists. So right now you see all the energy out there that used to be here. The Quran said it used to be one. The devils even say that because they said they call it here I go again. Right? They call it the Big Bang. They said all the energy in the universe was the size of an atom, then it blew up. Well, that's wow. But the Quran says all the energy in the universe was the atmosphere of the earth. So if you can believe it was that small, you can definitely believe the atmosphere of the earth. But anyway, we expand it or blow it up if you want to use that terminology. So that means as more energy goes out there, means less here for us. See, we live off the energy. There's so we have to live off the energy that's here, and it's dispersed upon all. How many people are alive? You have to divide it. If you got 1 billion units of energy, 1 billion pounds, however you want to call the units, there's 1 billion people. Each one gets 1. Half billion, each one gets 2. That's just where it is. That's just mathematics of it. When you learn mathematics, you understand that. So less energy, but it takes energy to do everything. We understand that. That means you suffer energy deprivation right now because all the energy out there, that means less here. That means you have less energy to do things. After a while, you get to the point where you have a deficit where you can have enough energy to take care of yourself, enough energy to run the planet. That's the situation we got into. Because we need energy, and you know how much energy we need to do those things. But if you make a being that doesn't require that much energy, then they can still do those things, but they're a weaker being. That's Yaku's creation, the stripped down version. They're Volkswagen Beetles with Lamborghini. So they can rule during the time of energy deprivation until the universe starts contracting again, energy starts coming back. And it comes back approximately every 50 years in waves. And we can prove that. So now his first wave came back in 1860. So we start rising up because in 1860 we was totally dead as a nation. Was dead. I mean, it got worse and worse. 1860 just for the so-called Civil War, we was totally white. We was totally dead. Oh, let me say one thing. You know, these people say, "Oh well, you know, the British they stopped slavery. They stopped the made laws against slavery." See, that's bullshit. Because the problem is, remember, there was conflict. There was a conflict between Britain and so-called America. America broke away, and the Britons wanted to get back control again. And so they knew. Remember, they didn't want to start slavery over here to begin with. The British, they want to set it up. Right in the 1400s, it was toward the 1700s, right? After about 300 years, well, at least 250, whatever, that the colonies broke away. So they broke away from Britain. You understand what I'm saying? So the British just set it up. They set it up, right? And so when the colonies said, "Hey, we don't want to party with you anymore," and they kicked them out and started called something they call America, right? And they defeated the British. Well, the British started try to affect the economic war on them. The reason they banned slavery internationally because they wanted a reason to stop slave ships because they knew that was what's controlling American economy. If they could stop slavery in America, they could ruin the economy because that was the base of the economy of America, slavery. That's why they did it. They did it because they thought slavery was bad. It was economic warfare, like Farrakhan terrorists. It was economic warfare drive that crippling American economy. So they intervened slave ships and stopped slave ships coming to America. Stopped the institution. That's why they did. They tried to say, well, they freed us because they had nothing to do with morality. They was trying to so they could take control of America again, the colony again. They feel so much bullshit. We all full of shit. We're all full, including me. We're all full of shit. But that's been feeding us for 400 years. We're all full of shit. Right? I'm just in the process of getting mine out of me. You're still eating it. I'm trying to get you to start getting yours out of you too. But we're all full of shit. He said, no, read it. He said, son of man, you gonna eat shit too. Read it. He said they would feed you human shit, our people. But he said he was spared. He said, no, I ain't going to make you eat human shit, but you got to eat cow shit. It's right in there. We're all full of shit. We ain't shit, we're full of it. But Farrakhan's demons, they are shit. We're full of it. But it can be removed, regurgitated. Including me, I'm setting myself from that. I didn't separate myself from that. The script says I can't separate. It says you're gonna eat shit too. I'm not gonna make you eat human shit though. Because if you here, we eating shit. You know, the other day, my wife, we went and bought some like Cuban bread or whatever. I was gonna make a sub, or whatever, and she was reading the description and everything, right, to see what it was made out of, lard or something. Nah, I ain't say nothing, right? I mean, I don't know. You should check that out and everything else, right? But I'm just saying, man. I don't believe anything on those degrees anymore. These folks, man, it's like I remember one time when Mesh was here, right? This brother, he was so holy, you can see some bros like that, right? I don't eat pork. No, we don't eat no pork, right? But he was over the board, right? Man, I don't touch it and all. He was super. And I said, brother, wild, yeah. I said, can you show? Yeah, man. Do you know what it's made out of? Oh, no, man. It's leather, right? I said, you check it. Made out of pig skin. I ain't going to hurt you, brother. I was trying to tell him, man. If you're over in America, you eating shit. We ain't shit. You ain't pure and clean over here. That's why my mama got you out of here. You can't be over here and be clean. You can't be in a pig pen and be clean. That's the point I'm trying to make. So you gonna go all crazy about I'm pure and holy, and I'm not. Okay, you play that role if you want to. I'm telling you right up. I got shit in me like all the rest of us. We're all covered with shit. I'm trying to get the hell out of here. I mean, I would if it wasn't for the Levites, I would have been out here a long time ago. But it's hard. I mean, even if you go to Arabia, you think they ain't got about shit over there? We're gonna talk about them in a minute. All this, Elijah Muhammad asked Master Muhammad said, "What's holy?" I know you ain't gonna get this, but maybe he told him a possum. I was a possum holy. Possum eat dead people. Master Muhammad was they got this crazy idea about Master Muhammad. He made less sort. He was born with a golden plate on his head, all that bullshit. Master Muhammad was real. He's real. I've had talked to some old timers that knew him. I said there was this one brother. You looked at that brother, that brother's white as snow. If you didn't know, he was an old timer. He actually was named by Master Muhammad. Master Muhammad named him Supreme Allah. That's that brother's name was Supreme Allah. When I first saw him, I said, "You got a white boy in here?" He told me, "No, he's an old timer." I was in my 20s, right? So I guess he was maybe his 40s at that time. So I don't know how old he was, right? 50s. He had to be no Master Muhammad. Right? This was in the 70s, right? 75. He used to be all man. Yeah. Every time Miss say something, I guess go up because everybody looked at him, thought he was a white guy. Trying to make sure, hey, I'm with y'all, man. He did more work than anybody. He sold more paper than anybody because he was. But he named by Master Muhammad. So Master Muhammad knew who he was. He named him Supreme Allah. That's a name, boy. Supreme Allah. Damn, how can you beat that one? I guess he gave him that to overcome the fact that he looked white. Everybody, I don't know. That was his name, Supreme Allah. I'm for sure he's not around anymore. That was his name, Supreme Allah. Let's move on, brothers and sisters. You know this holy stuff. Well, look at Master Muhammad. His mother's a devil. And yeah, she's a devil, and we honor her because she gave birth to the God. She's still a devil. He doesn't back off from that. So it's holy shit. Take that shit and shove your ass. See? You don't like my language? Take that shove your ass too. That's the holy shit you get from Christianity. Oh, Jesus, he don't go to the bathroom. If you ask them, they probably eat his shit. Sick. That don't come from us. Don't come from Islam. You even if you read the Quran, the Bible, if you read it correctly, don't come in there either. How you think you fertilize the ground? With shit. That's what fertilizer is. That's what the plants eat to grow that you eat. The water you drink came out of somebody at one point in time. I said my children, when they was children, right? And we sitting at that table eating steaks, boy. And I said, hey, any of y'all eat cow butt? Oh man, they went off. Man, you ain't eat no cow butt. They started laughing. We're gonna eat cow butt. I said, you eating cow butt right now. And then they realized that's what steak is. At least steaks we was eating. They didn't stop eating them. Whatever. That holy game, play it. I'm not playing it here. If what I'm saying offends you, and you can't see the knowledge and wisdom and math behind it, that's good. That's exactly what I want. Screen, Put a screen to screen out certain things, but you got to put the screen up. The only thing we'll get through is get through that screen. I got an effective screen to keep your dumb ass out of here. If you got a problem with me saying, fuck these devils. Okay. We don't get to, but I want to understand this. Right? So I'm going to see from this angle. I'm not going to get through it all day because every time I start talking about this, I get this diverted. And I've been 2 or 3 hours, and I mean I'll do an hour. Okay. What happened is we got two, because this is important. I mean, all this is important. But we got two nations here. And you're seeing the lessons, but they don't understand those lessons. Why did they say it's 17 million black people? Wasn't 17 million black people back there when Master Muhammad said that? Because now you got approximately 34 million black people, right? Maybe a little more now, but at the time, the time he was referring to, it's 30, half of them are original, half of them are demons. They slave masters, rape children, skin folk, wool cheap clothing. And so 17 million are original. That's what he's really referring to, because it didn't have 17 million back then, but that's probably what it is right now, ain't it? So you got two ideas, but we mix together. And that's why I'm going to get to that a little in a bit, because we're neutralizing each other. If you got water here, the dirt here, the water has its power, and dirt has power, right? But when it's together, it's mud, that's no power. So the water doesn't have its power, and the dirt doesn't have its power, because you got to mix together. And that's what, see, the demons have power, but we're neutralizing each other, because we're all mixed up. I ain't never revealed that to you either. That's just a lot of stuff I ain't talking about. Us being mixed up, that's why he had to separate us. Then all of a sudden we come into power. Because when do we come into power? Once we're separated, Lord, they're separated, all of a sudden we're exceedingly great army. But they become a exceedingly great army. Well, a great army, I would say exceedingly great. They become army too. See, they go to war. See, these things, if you pay attention to what I was talking about, you probably would have figured that one out. That's why it had to be separated. Because you had the chaff and the wheat mixed together. They was neutralizing each other. We neutralize them, neutralize nuts, because we all mixed up together. And we can't say who. That's why it says, and I had to look at that because, you have to go to the transcript. That's why his translation is so messed up. When you go in there talking about Jonah, it says, oh, I can't do it because they can't tell the right from the left. Now, these translations say right hand and left hand. They assume that. Because you go back to the manuscript, it says they can't tell the right from the left. He said, well, but it does make a different angel key, because the saints are not hands, they're feet. So I had to look at that carefully. I said, why do they keep saying left and right? Now look, someone say that, and then you go to the translator ones, and they say, can't tell the left and the right. Because they're still mixed up. So we can't do it now, they're still mixed. That's what he's telling Jonah, we can't do it now because they're still mixed up. They're mixed up together. And Farrakhan wants it that way. Oh, we can't, just call it division, we got to stick together. Yeah, because as long as you keep the demons and the saints together, the chaff together, both are powerless. That's what the devils want. Demons don't even understand that one. They think they're neutralizing us, but the devil got them neutralized too. So the devil sent them in. That's a whole nother story together. I'm not going to that today, brothers and sisters. This demon thing is not, that was one of the things they did that because they thought, these people knew, they know the scripture. The sealed Bible is a basic idea because that's the book given to them. Right? How it's going to end. So they want to try to slip into the kingdom. Scriptures tell you that. Right? Try to slip in by taking our identity. So we think, hey, they're black. It must be okay. No. That's why it says, it tells you it intentionally. They says someone mixed them up. It tells you that. You don't pay attention to that, right? So someone sowed their seed amongst the wheat. Why would they do that? To neutralize the wheat and to hide the fact that they mixed up so you wouldn't be big. That's why they told Elijah, says, no, you can't separate me. You got to wait till the Son of Man come. He can do it. I know you don't pay attention to these things. So the point is that, so you got two different ideas, and the whole point is, since Master Muhammad showed up, right, he told us, but the point is, it will start happening by itself. We will start being energized. Because you got two people thinking different ways. That means they're going to start going separate ways. We was in the fields, we were still separated because they had niggas and the field niggas. But once so-called civil war come, we start energizing. Right? Okay, what happened? It was 50 years. Now this proves that every 50 years happens, because 50 years, that happened 1860s, right? When did blues come out? 1860s. Where did blues come from? We had the blues. That was our emotional condition. Blues, because we know what to do. Everything was bad for us. We had no idea. We had no jobs, had nothing. We were out there and being throwing chain gang and everything. We had the blues. What we gonna do? What we gonna do? Is that a coincidence? You know what happened 50 years later? And we had the blues, right? And then some people say, let's stay on the farm. Sharecroppers, let's ran to the cities, trying to get away. Two different ideas. One wants to stay with master. He wants to stay on the farm and sharecrop. One wants to get away from it as far as they could. As far as could was the cities at that time, because they didn't know anything. But then next 50 years, now start getting some knowledge. The knowledge about our conditions, stuff like that there. So then you got one, they want to get close to master, Eurocentric and Afrocentric. Afrocentric, Noble Ali, Mark Garvey, Masra Muhammad, and later Elijah, as a result of Masra Muhammad. They Eurocentric. That's Du Bois. And we got to be more like white people. We got to speak more like white people. And the other people said, no, man, we got to get back to who we supposed to be. Afrocentric. That's the fact. It was jazzy then. Jazz came up. It's like getting jazzy. Is that a coincidence? Check it. Everything I say, you can check it. Is that a coincidence? Those came out almost like 50 years apart. Totally different music. And then 50 years later, another new music type, Motown. What? Now black, because first it was called niggas, then it was called colored people, and now it's black and the proud. We got rid of that stuff out of here, start wearing naturals and stuff, right? And you had two different ideas, integration and separation. There were two ideas there. That a coincidence? Go check it out. I'm telling you something. So where we are right now. We've had the 50-year mark again. Probably 50 years, probably 50, right in the middle of the 50-year mark. 2025. And each one of those caused a spark. Each one of them had resistance. Civil War resistance, the blues. I told you wasn't nothing about freeing us. Right? Then you had they call it Red Summer during 1919. Then you had so-called riots and all that kind of stuff going, the civil unrest. And now this was the worst one of all. See, we separate going two different ways. You separate that chaff from the wheat. See? And so you can identify them because of the way they think. So now we're about to separate all together. You got two different ideas now. One idea said we're getting the hell out of here, going back to exactly the measure of the covenant. Then you got some of the say we stand here, we like it here. Right? Devils ain't devils anymore. We gotta get control of America, we gotta be part of America. Ain't that what Farrakhan saying? Ain't that what he's saying? You see what I'm saying? Because he's a demon. This is not, I'm just making this up. You can, whatever I say here, you can easily go and verify. Easily. In 5 minutes, you can verify just with Google. The music and everything else. We're going to talk about the weapons. I'm just trying to get some background here. See, so here it is again. So let's go through it quickly. I'm going to get to the actual methods. See, the blues first, right? That's when each age accompanied it. It was coming with a resistance, of violent resistance to the whole thing. They need you in the fields no more because new age came in, right? And you had those that want to stay and those want to leave. Stay with master, right? Leave master. When stay sharecroppers, when was get the hell get cities. Then you had the Civil War, which is about resistance. It wasn't about freeing you. This is how I Google this right here. You can read it on your own. It tells you. Well, I read this next one here. It says right here, a common explanation is that the Civil War was fought over the moral issue of slavery. In fact, the fact is it was economic slavery and political control of that system that was central to conflict. It had nothing to do with freeing you. How we gonna control? How we gonna deal with those niggas? See, but they tell us, see, that's how white folks get you. Oh, see, we after 40 years, we let you, no. They lied to you, like Elijah Muhammad said, they lied to you. I mean, I can't blame them. This is a concentration camp. This is us. And sharecroppers city. Frederick Douglass, he was advocating. He was one of the big advocates at that time. He had a counterpart, but I still haven't found out. When search found who that was. Then, approximately 50 years later, 1910s, the 1920s, New Age. Now, jazz. Now, keep this in mind, new type of music type that came from us. Not any place else, not over in Africa, not in Jamaica. Here, us. Blues, us. They need you at that time. That's when it showed up. Go find when the blues started, when the jazz started. And Eurocentric, Afrocentric. Okay? That's the Red Summer. Racial, most people know about this here. Red Summer occurred in 1990, event that affected at least 26 states, right? An outbreak of racial violence. See, here's Eurocentric, hey, ACP, colored people at that time. He was called colored people. First was niggas, then now colored people. Be moving up, right? Got a little more education. Here's Marcus Garvey, his people. Elijah Muhammad was a soldier in the Marcus Garvey before he met Master Muhammad. See? So here's Du Bois. It's just not Marcus Garvey. I'm just showing him. He's the most people was aware. But Master Muhammad was here during that time. Elijah Muhammad was part of his movement. He had Noble Drew Ali. And so, and then 50 years later, computer age. New age is almost 50 years, right? And then soul music. Out of nowhere. Us again. They come from China. They come from Africa. They come from Algeria. They come from New Mexico. Us. And you're going to see what that means in a minute. They need you for, right? They send a job to China, India. This is resistance to you. Then two different, again, integration, separation. See? Right apart. And there was a conflict between, there were people that wanted integration, separation, like it was a conflict between Eurocentric and Afrocentric. There's a conflict in all of those. Right? Because we disagreed with each other. And there was a degree of conflict between us, which will be in this next stage. See, and that rise all across America. See, these are coincidences. This stuff you easy check out. How come Farrakhan ain't tell you about this stuff? Because he don't know shit. That's why he said God told him shut up. No, fool. He just don't know nothing. Don't know anything. Excuse me. And here it is. Here's the two. Elijah and Martin Luther King. Now, the thing about this is that Elijah somehow convinced him that he's a demon. He wants to be close to the devils. So he put something on he did something to him because he went out and started talking Elijah Muhammad separation thing, and he was dead the next day. That's I have a dream. We're going to get there, promised land. You weren't supposed to be saying that. Then the next day, here it is. They want to be white people. Here's Elijah Muhammad's people. Right? They separate. Okay? And then now, here we are right now. That means if that pattern holds, something's about to happen. That's where we are right now. I'm trying to get you to understand what's happening right now, brothers and sisters. Not watch the weather and shit. This is something you can check out yourself if you're about checking things out, about thinking. If you're about emotionalism, then you keep your head at Farrakhan's ass. We ain't trying to stop you. You don't need for anything anymore. I'm not promoting that. I'm not really emphasizing that point where they don't need you no more at different stages. Because right now, the bottom line is, I probably should talk about this, but I'm not going to talk about it right now. They just got to get rid of you. Because it's not going to be any jobs. There's no jobs for you right now. The only reason why they implemented a lot of stuff in China, they haven't implemented it here because they did, or you'd be out of work or suddenly, and what you think you're going to do? They don't need you in Walmart no more. You've been a Walmart lady. They don't need your Popeyes no more. They don't need your Burger King no more. They don't need those places because they got machines to do all that stuff. They got it in China. They haven't done it here because all of a sudden you be out of work, and then what happened? They got to shut you down real fast. They're doing these detention centers. What do you think the detention centers for? The detention centers, the reason they was there originally, because that's what your staging ground to be there before they send you, before they deport you, because you had day in court. But they don't need a day in court anymore. So why are they still building them? They build a big one in Florida. They already got one. They're going to build a big one called Alligator or something. And they build a bigger one in Texas. Now they're telling me to build one in Minnesota somewhere or something. And then they can put American soldiers against American citizens now. They couldn't do that before. That's illegal, Constitution. Now they can put an army and come attack American citizens. That's not immigrants. So who they planning on getting? And then he's going out his way to get you pissed off about something. And then they got a genocide over there that, like it's nothing happening. They're trying to get people used to it because they get ready to genocide your ass. Keep listening to Farrakhan. You're going to be on a dinner menu in a minute. Anyways, let's go on. Try to bring us all together. See, this is not, this is real. They can do this right now. You ever heard test tube baby? Well, they could do it in a robot now. She can't produce sperm, can't produce egg. They take the egg of a person, a woman, and take a sperm and put it together. They put the chemistry, the chemicals and stuff they need, right? Environment, so the sperm can grow. They, and that's what happens. It's a lot more to it than you think, brother and sister. Like I said, I know about IT because that was my profession for years. 30 years, right? A lot of money doing it. My own business, IT. I can tell you a lot about that. Okay, let's move on, brothers and sisters. Stay. Those that want to stay and depart. Farrakhan wants to stay here. He says it. He don't want to leave. He likes it here. The Message of Covenant says he wants to leave because that's what it says. Go home after 40 years. Okay, I'm not going to read this, but well, I'm going to get to the demon lord. Okay, move on. This is where we depart. They'll leave him there. They're going to get the water. I'm not going to go that kind of detail. That wasn't that there either. Where did I put that there? My brother said I got to find out. Put something when I get to the main point here. Wait a minute. I'll put it at. What's right there? Oh, no wonder. That was dumb. Okay, I knew I did it. Okay, move this. Get it. Hey, brothers and sisters, see if I can get this right now. I talked about the C-bomb. Let me see how I set this up. Now, we came over here, it was more like that. It was warriors. They tell us we run around like bones down noses and all that kind of stuff, right? You got Tarzan, he was the king of the jungle with a bunch of savages running around, eating each other. That's far from the truth. I mean, that's not even close to the truth. It's like, if you go in, say for instance, somebody came over here, they went to, Appalachia, and saw the rednecks up there and went and told everybody that was America. The way it is. And you say, oh man, look at them. They're not but the rednecks over there. See? They showing you like right? So we have people, like you have the suburbs, you got the cities. We have cities. We have people live in suburbs. Yeah, people live out in the suburbs. They, that was like our suburbs. But we had cities. You ever heard Timbuktu? Look up Timbuktu. It was one of the greatest universities on the planet at the time. People all over the world. Don't tell you, well, they didn't know the world was flat. That was the Europeans that know the world was flat. You know how far Russia is Russia is far from Alaska? Somebody knew. There was a lot of people. We knew it wasn't flat because we was already got evidence that we was trading back and forth. I can go into a lot of details on that math and that, but I'm not going to do it. But the point is that the Europeans, they was stupid, ignorant, and they was backwards, right? But Timbuktu was one, about Egypt. That was us. We lived on the northwest coast of Africa. That's where they found us. That was easy access to us to get over here. Northwest coast. You don't see how many people over here. They went on the east coast because the east coast they got Somalia, east north, or they got Ethiopia. Those people got like almost like here like Hausa Indians. No states like that. Because we was a different tribe that we actually came from Arabia. That's the whole story together. Because half Africa, most of Africa anyway, most look like the Ethiopians and the Somalians. We're most like India. We're special tribes, tribe Shabazz, and we lived on the and that's why they was able to bring us over because we was on the northwest. And that was Egypt. But they tried to eat white folks. No, they took the Arabs, our half brothers took our, plus Esau, that was they're full brothers. They turned against us, and they took our lands. Now they occupied those lands. Those our lands. That's no story together. Right? But we was warriors. Plus we had cities. What's that movie? What was that movie? Amistad, is that what it was? And they accidentally showed you that all the sisters were Muslim. Because on that coast, that's where the Moors came from, Morocco. And Moors controlled Spain for 700 years. They was Muslims. Black Muslims, if you want to call them that. They civilized Spain. That's why Spain was the most powerful country out of Europe. Because they didn't go to the Dark Ages. It's no story. Anyway, that's where we were. Look how we are now. Wow, how did you get like that? Because 400 years of oppression and force and molding us. Because if you hate something, you change it. The more you hate, you change it. They changed 100%. That shows they hate us 100%. They try to trick you back to where you was, and they come against you. My name ain't Jeffrey. My name is not a Charles Nickenbob anymore. My name is Ahmed. Oh man! Also, you got a problem. You get crossed around your neck. You got a problem with them because they want us to keep. You hate something, you change it. If you try to change back, you're gonna start hating it again. I know, because like I said, I had my own business with a name like Raheem. Right? The problem was they didn't like me around, but I was good because I had a reputation. I knew system, I knew program, I knew all that stuff. I was number one. I went to school for it. I came out top first in the class. And so they bring me in when they need something done. They knew to call me. As soon as I finished, they gave me a good reference. They had to because they know I took care of business for them. But they didn't want to keep me around. might activate some other brothers and sisters. In fact, that would happen because I'll be asked questions. I'll be over trying to talk to other brothers and sisters. They be asked, why I'm talking to them. They go in and say, why, you know? Yeah, that will happen. Anyway, see, so keep this in mind. Sisters and warriors. That's what we were. This ain't where we are now. They're sisters. Women, original women, are they just beautiful. They're the definition of beauty. The actual definition of beauty. They brought beauty into the universe. They are, no, they bring it to the universe. They are the beauty of the universe. Put that away. I can't say anymore. It's profound than that. They are the beauty of the universe. I mean, you can't, and that's why they call this stuff makeup. Who use makeup? They didn't use that before they came over here. These devils. When they say makeup what they don't have. Makeup what they don't, trying to be like the sister. They make stuff dark. They take themselves light on it. Dark. In context, covering blue eyes up. Get their hair thicker. Bigger lips. No bustles. Look up bustles. Fake asses. That was a big thing, so-called slavery. They hated black women. They walk around with bustles on, big asses. They had a cartoon one time where a woman came in, she had a bustle on, and had lipstick, all that stuff on right. And so she got into bed and she took all that stuff off. She looked like a damn pole. Funny. Oh. Ooh. These sisters were, they're going home, and when they go home, they're going to be on top of the planet where they're supposed to be. And not because we put them there, because that's where it's supposed to be. We're just going to make sure that nobody fuck with them. We ain't got to put them anywhere. These sisters are powerful to do it. Get the power. We don't have to give. If we give them power, that means we control it. No, they're going to take power back once they get their mind back. They realize how powerful they are. And what I'm going to tell you right now gives you an idea. They don't understand how they're powerful. Just like you don't understand how powerful you are, you understand how powerful they are. Their power, just in fact, in some ways, is better than yours, right? They heard that song, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. So we ain't gonna give them power. They're gonna take it, and we're gonna support it. Oh, here we go again. These technical issues, brothers and sisters. I know it's purposeful because I would have before. Cleaned up my computer and everything else, and now it's getting worse. Okay, here we go. Okay, see here. Now this is us mixed together. The white ones here with the crosses, that's the demons. Skin folk, they white on the inside, black on the outside. But we all mixed together like this. So that we neutralize each other's power. We neutralize each other's power. You understand? Because we think one way, they think the opposite. So we neutralize. So therefore, the devils ain't got to worry about us because we neutralize each other's power. You understand? And they want to keep it that way. Now, demons, they think they're stopping us, but they realize they've been stopped. They think they're helping the devils, right? It's like the house niggas. Hey man, I'm in the house, right? But they was being used too. So they think they're helping the devils, but they really hurting themselves too, because being mixed with us, they don't have any power either. So we fight with each other. As long as we fighting each other, the devils say sit back and just watch us do it. See? Because we got devils say, you talk to some of these black folks out here. They want to drop Christianity and all that stuff. They don't want to hear that shit you talking about. I want to share hit man about Islam. They didn't neutralize what you're saying. They don't want to hear it. And you don't hear what they're saying either. See? But that force has been between us. So we're not focusing outward. So what happens is the superman has to come. See, I'm trying to show you what's going on. Because how you can neutralize somebody's force. I'm not telling you how you can overcome a Hulk by using C-bomb. Well, they're using this against like use electricity. Forces again. That's why they create these demons to neutralize us. That's the way to keep us under control. They use weapons against us. I told you I should show you electricity, all these types of things they use as against us. Because we don't know. So this is one way they use right here, but mix up all together. But damn, that's what Superman has separated. That's why he separated chaff from wheat. But now, all that energy, we ain't fighting each other no more. So now the force is spinning outward instead of inward. And it's all united, so it's not being neutralized. Well, it's not neutralized anymore. Neither for them. That's why they go to war here. The demons go to war here. It's called Locust War. That's the story about Samson. They tear his country apart. Because they're army too. And they don't have no distractions. Everybody's on the same wavelength. They all want to take America. They all love America. They all, whatever. And we don't say, but we want to leave. They want to stay. So they're going to stay here and fight. We'll fight our way out of here. But now we focus. Now we're powerful. And we're seeing a great army now. But now it's focus. Let me tell you something else about this. Remember I was telling you about the music. You said 50 years of music? Now, I've been explaining it the last few days. I'm trying to explain a little more detail today. The music is the atmosphere. It's giving spirit to the atmosphere. So it affects your emotions. But does it? Does it affect your emotions? Or is your emotion that created it? Because the atmosphere music just don't pop up anywhere. It's like a storm. Somebody put it out there. It's every 50 years. And so like, it's like it's like water, right? You drink it, you need it. They say we want to spice it up, so you put some sugar and stuff in it, or tea, or whatever. Yeah, I mean, you hear it, right? You breathe it in, right? So if you just breathe, if you just, I mean, it saves your life. Just breathe it in and drink water, fine. But it's a little more interesting if you put some spices water up, right? It's more interesting, right? If you put some roses and stuff like that, that's not pleasant smells, right? It's more interesting. You don't need it, but it's just like putting seasoning on meat. It tastes a little better. And so you hear it, but now you put some music down. See what I'm saying? But think about that for a minute. That's the atmosphere. Who controls the atmosphere? Whose music is dominating the atmosphere all over the planet? You don't know any of the music types. You know about Beethoven and that stuff before that. But since this, whose music is dominating the atmosphere? Blues, jazz, rock, or Motown, whatever you want to call it, soul. It's all coming from us, not from Africa. Not me, sir. From us. They come from Asia, not come from China, not come from Europe, come from us. They duplicate it, mimic it, echo it, but we create it. Think about that. Do you understand what that means? We're controlling the atmosphere, the rhythm of the atmosphere, the currents. That's like a currents, right? Activating it. And that means it affects other people. But that's our emotions, because that's the state of emotion we was. First we was blues, then we got jazz, then we got soul and black and I'm proud. And now this would means the next step, I call it victory, because now we finally separated. And now the two forms have power. Because nobody had no power once we was mixed together, but now each one has power. The demons have power, we have it. So we can do what we want to do and don't think about it no more. We can actually accomplish what we want to accomplish. They want to stay here and be with Master. They want to conquer Master. We want to get the hell out of here and get back home. Now we have enough power to do it. But it's but music reflects our emotions. So our emotions control the planet. But the point is, remember, they have a different emotional level than we do. So our emotions override their emotions. So their emotions are going to resist. They're not going to like it. You see? When you used to call it devil music? So you got an emotional battle. Music is an emotional battle. That's one of your weapons. Emotional battle. That's about to take place. When this come on, right, to kind of, because remember, when they first came out with Motown, right? You didn't think it was emotional battle going on there? Tupac, Sister Soldier. They went right away and attacked the lyrics. Right away attack the lyrics. Now you don't get, all you get now is nigga, bitch, oh. You wasn't getting that before from them. They tried to change it, the emotional aspect from getting attacking the lyrics. They're all of them. That's going to, see what I'm saying? Yes, emotional war. It's taking place with music, and it's going to be devastating in a minute. It's a powerful. But the other point about it is that it's currents. So right now, you actually see, you didn't realize because your music is dominating the whole planet. I just Googled, I said, let's what's the most powerful music on the planet today? The whole planet. You know what it says? Hip hop. That came from us. But yeah, we hear little or nothing here in America, don't have anything, have control of anything. But yet still, it's our emotions that's control the planet. Our emotions moving the planet, either positive or negative, but still have an emotional impact on everybody on the damn planet. That's the atmosphere. So the point is that we have emotional contact, demons have emotional contact, and it's stronger as we get further and further apart. But you breathe in air and you breathe out air. Just think of it. Say, for instance, you have 1 million people in sync breathing in and out air, and there's no, that's currents. What I'm saying is, Elijah Muhammad mentioned this. I'm not sure if he mentioned black men, but he did mention it because I remember he mentioned it. Because it says in it, that we have control of the weather. Right now, the reason why you don't see it because we mix together. Once we separate it, right, you're going to see that we have control of the weather. But we have control of the music. We also have control of the weather. But right now it says music. So all confused. Weather's all over the place. But have you noticed that all the time, all these different weather stuff, storms coming up? See, I got GPS on white folks. You notice that? You control, that's another one of your weapons. Once we separate it, you're going to see it because now the weather's focused. So it ain't going to be nothing neutralizing what you're doing. So if everybody's on highs and have the same wavelength, right? Somebody come at you, you're going to will a storm into existence. Make a owner, create a planet, or will a tornado into existence. A hurricane into existence. It ain't come from a mystery God. The crowds even try, but you think it's come from a mystery God. No, it's come from you. We just can't do it enough. We're all mixing, all going different directions. So we get all crazy weather patterns, but it's going to be focused then. Because the Bible tells you when we get home, right, all the nations that don't obey us, we're going to control it, stop getting rain and stuff, control the weather over them. Not with a pill. We control it. Just like we control it, the atmosphere right now with music. You ask yourself, how wise is our music dominating the whole planet? Not even Africa. It's like 70K, we should be copying from them. No, they copy from us. Those are weapons you have. You got that weapon, the emotional weapon, music. That's controlling the emotion of the people on the planet. And it's going to make them more angry. because they're gonna be jealous. Say, woe to envy, woe when envy envious. Because your music's gonna be talking about victory, and they're gonna be envious of your victory. It's going to hate it. Say, woe when envy envies. Remember, time they're gonna come after you. But now you're gonna be singing victory, man. Now we finally, and they don't want that. They're gonna fight against it. So it's gonna be emotional. They want to kill you. I mean, they're singing it. I'm telling you, that's emotional. That's one of your main weapons. Gonna stir them up emotionally. They're gonna hate to see you talk victory. Now you're successful. Well, why would it envy? The envy because now you if you ain't got anything, it's nothing to envy, is it? That means now you rising up. Now you gotten everything. That's one of your weapons. I'm trying to pray for war, brothers and sisters. That's one of your main weapons. Once you achieve highs, you're gonna see it. That's one of your main weapons going tribulation. Weather. Your battle songs that you're gonna come up with. You know? Like I was telling my wife the other day, right? You know, the thing is that they sound like, I ain't putting down women, right? But the white males sound, when they go to officer, or they go to police academy, whatever, they got to take special class for voice, so they can sound more authoritative. But they come into it, yeah, put your hands up. Let me see your legs. Turn around, put your hands, man. I hear that shit. They got to give them authoritative voice because they don't have it naturally. But when they hear it, that's why some of them, they get scared because we sound like lions to them. Even the sisters, they sound like lions. They scare them. Remember, their hearts tremble. They get nervous real fast. They got to train them against that. We sound like lions to them. See, you don't know that. Like, you know, you people say how they be dancing all crazy. White folks can dance. The problem is, they ain't hearing what you're hearing. Like a dog whistle. What they dance is what they're hearing. You know, that ain't the whole thing. You hearing the whole thing. They hear maybe 10% of it, and they dancing to that. That's all they don't hear it all. See? You got to put this stuff together, brothers and sisters. They can dance, but that's all they're hearing. They hear all the melodies and all that stuff that you're hearing. That's why you moving. Maybe that's me too. I can't dance. Maybe that's my problem too, right? But the problem is, you understand? You got to understand these things. So you got the emotional weapon, C bomb, because that's the most powerful bomb you got right there. You can't withstand it because you told submit. So the devils were actually creating a C bomb because they didn't believe in consequence. Because they believe in consequence, they would never do what they did to us. Because they know they got to be a consequence to it. And the consequence coming from us because we want to store it up. It says, doing him double is done to you. We store it up. And so now it's being unleashed. That's why Pharaoh was giving them warning, let my people go. They're about to blow. What's the characteristic they're blowing? The plagues. If you didn't, they're gonna blow. That's the characteristic of explosion. But they held us, so they're gonna explode right here and blow us all away. So doing a double. You understand what I'm trying to say, brothers and sisters? So you got the C bomb. That's already, once that's unleashed, and that's why I got Farrakhan say, no, try to make it implode. Don't let it explode. If it explodes, it's going to blow up. That's why Elijah Muhammad said, no, they the enemy. Explode on them. I said, no, explode back on yourself. They good people. We love them. We love America. You're the problem. You're sinful. You're wicked. I'm going to punch you if you don't listen to me. Trying to get you explode inwards. Okay. And Suleiman come and said, Mo, get rid of him. So he spoke outward. Okay. They're going to trigger it by attacking us. You understand, brothers and sisters? So you got that C-bomb. You got the emotional. That's a weapon once you explode that you're going to go through tribulation with. Music, weather, resonance. Ain't strong what they have, you're going to be able to break it down. That's what's so about Jericho. Remember, on the way they're fighting, right? They ran to a city, that was fortified and use resins to take it down. Those are weapons you have, brothers and sisters. You have other weapons too. If you need personal weapons, Master Muhammad will provide them. But those are weapons that you already have right now. And the problem is that because we together, we neutralized it on both, so no can't see it because it's mixed up. So we're against each other, demons and the devils. I mean, demons and saints. So we neutralize each other. Once we separate it, then both come into focus. So you have two armies. One going to stay here. They're going to be successful in taking down America. America will be totally divided. I talked about all that. They're going to take, but it's going to be a pure victory because once they get it, then that's when Hayes and Death come rolling in. The leopard, the goat they tell you about in Daniel, and they're defeated. Right? But we go home. It's the weapons you have, brothers and sisters. You don't know it. And that's why it says, don't do anything because they can't tell the left from the right. If you understand Ninja Key, that means they can't distinguish between who the demons and the original saints are. It says that wheat and chaff are mixed together. And Farrakhan trying to say we won, we all black. That's it. That's why I use that term black. That's not a racial term. It's not skin color. It's your nature. That's why I try to play a game match for Muhammad. He's original. I don't care what skin color is. But Farrakhan, he's not original. He's a devil. Because he's seated as father. Father's the devil. Once that's why Quran said, Lord, separate, then. And this one other thing. See, Master Muhammad, first of all, well, let me show you this next thing if I have here. I must have did it twice. I think I keep forgetting that. Okay, let me say this. See, sir? Now we're on the bottom. So what's on the bottom will be on the top. That's what I said. We're on the bottom. Our nations almost don't even exist, right? But look at here. See all the nations against us. Satan, false Israel, they got identity. They say they're us. And so if they're us, as long as we think they're us, it justifies being on the bottom. Because they're white, we black. Right? And they see Abraham, God's chosen people. So we must be Ham, the cursed ones, cursed black. See, that just, if you believe that in Christianity, then that justifies you. So you satisfied, I mean, you ain't satisfied, but you taking, what's what I'm going to use, you're taking justice to be on the bottom. That's not the word I want to use, but see what I'm saying? Because where you going to go? You ain't see Abraham. You're black. They're God's chosen people. You're over here enslaved, see? You reconciled yourself with being the bottom. As long as you see that. That's why he put it up there. Because like Muhammad said, no, you on the top. He said, no, them, they said by 48, they was killing them. They was wiping each other out. Or after 2,000 years, and all of a sudden the next day they was kissing each other's ass. Because like Muhammad, they saw the danger. And look over here at Jinn. See? That's Arabs. They have half brothers. They're really Indians. They no straw together. They have half brothers. They got our land, our language, our religion. Because they said they belong to them. Oops. Uh-oh. I made a mistake here. Let me click this real fast. Oh. Okay, there you go. Ooh. I blew that one. So we told Smith, I told you about the sea bomb. So we told, hey, just Smith, just take it. Don't like, take 400 years. Can't take it more than that. We said, Jen, hey, listen, I'm not going to do it. Right? So, but he was an angel too. As soon as he's not an angel, he read your he got a heck, he has to be an angel. So it's not Smith. So who is the only nation that totally resists everything they do? That's the so-called Arab Sunnis. They don't want the language, they don't want the culture, they don't want the government, they don't want any of it. They fight them all the time. So they're not storing of anything, they're not submitting. They fight back on every right? They've been fighting back for 5 years and they haven't won a battle yet. So they still got themselves, they still got their language, right? If they took Mus, they still got it. And that's nothing taken away from them. So they're not damaged because they fighting back, maintain what they stole from us. That story's in Daniel, I'm not going to it. So they got that, and they want to keep these things. Because as long as we stay on the bottom, they can keep these things. Because remember, these things came from us. And God can make our nation, our energy, our work, energy that we took from us, our work for them for nothing. The Esau, that's the African brothers over there. They got an image because they say, well, we're the true Africans. We're the true original people. So that all that is to keep us just for us being on the bottom. And all I want is maintain that all I want to maintain that. So we got to fight. If we're on the bottom, we got to fight our way back to the top. And we got to fight all of them all the way back to the top. Now that time. I ain't even mentioned the demons in there. They're the first one we got to get. Because first we got to, before we can have power, we can have military, we got to separate us from them before we can even go to battle. See? You won't be ready for battle until you separate from them. That's what my job is, to get to separate. When you separate, then you become a seat in the great army. Then you can go to battle. See? You got to battle all the way. Stand there, bro. Says what? I got something. Do I have anything else here on that? Okay, see? That right there, that's what keep you down. Your mind. Because as long as you think that they who they say they are, it means you're nothing. Even if you go to Sunni land, or Sunni land, you're nothing. You're not Abraham seed anything. You're just some nigga trying to be a Muslim. As long as that's there, that means that says you're nothing. Because remember, they're the ones on the bottom. See? But they say they're top. So if you got something like this here, right, and you say, well, this is really the top, then that becomes the bottom, right? So if they're the top, then we the bottom. And that's why it's up there. And to keep you saying, oh, that look up there, you Christian, everything else, they chose people, everything. That means who are you? You're nothing. God, for you, they say him, God reject you, curse you. So that's what Master Muhammad has to take care of this. That's what he's getting ready to do. That's why the battle over a war broke out in heaven. Michael's angels, Michael's Master Muhammad, they couldn't tell you that. He's going to deliver us, right? They don't even know that. And this what he's got to do. This is what he's going to do. Once false Israel go, that's why we say Jerusalem, surround my armies. Who got Jerusalem? That's them. They're doing genocide, everything with it right now. That's part of the plan. But then their destruction, it tells you they're going to be destroyed. And desolation is not when they tell you, no, Jesus will come save the last minute. No. That means they couldn't be shoot Abraham if they destroyed. That means that sign comes up and all of a sudden that's what unifies you. Demons ain't going to be one to be unified on that side because that doesn't apply to them. That will unite you. Once they take that one down, and they take that one down, and Suleiman sets this one up. They take Master Muhammad, it's two process. He takes that one down, and Suleiman sets this one up. That vision. It unites all our people. Separate us from the demons. Now you're ready for war. I already show you some of your weapons. Most powerful on the planet. Get your mind back. Battle our way back to the top. God and protecting our women all the way. Like I said, once we get home, we'll be home next year. Once we get back home, we got to take it back. They won't give it to us. Iran's going to have control of the Middle East. But now they're still going to be living there. And they won't be ruling it. They still be living there. Like I said, you go home to, when you be home, you be home to houses you have not built. All I said they building is you. You ain't going to go down to the sand. I said they building is yours. I said, my house, my father has many mansions. And so when we get there, like I said, once we get home, all the brothers, you stay here. You know, we gotta take it. It's gonna be a battle. Once we take it in the deserts, take it. Okay, sisters, you go find where you want to stay. You find a mansion you want to stay, whatever. And once you get, then you call your brother, your husband, or whatever. It's yours. Arabia is yours. We protect you. We secure it. But Arabia is yours. I can tell it, brother. I said, you in your house, the sister owns the house. You just protect it, secure it, and furnish it. Not furnish it, but, you know, supply it, get supplies. She furnished, but she knows how to beautify things. You understand? Arabia is hers. We do all this for her. You better understand that. Go ahead. We got a whole new world now. Universe, expanding, the contracting universe, that belongs to them. We had control of the expanding universe, but now it's reverse. I said, brothers and sisters. Let me see what else I got here. Yeah, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. I understand, brothers and sisters. They're battle. By my calculation, that's war resumes this month, next few days, next few hours, whatever. All hell breaks loose. That's apocalypse officially started. Officially kicked off. Where's Armageddon, Farrakhan? You said, I got another video I'm gonna show, right? He's saying all this stuff. Where he says, if he don't say something don't happen, got all them saying all that stuff, right? But he didn't say, yeah, he's showing Armageddon. Was it 2 or 3 years ago? Why? He's true. Come together, men and brothers and sisters. See the great army. Sisters, don't you worry about a thing. Unless you're out there loaded up on devils and stuff. Thing. You done done everything you need to do. But you still gotta tell you, I can't, that's something that you still gotta rise, gotta get a new mind. Gotta get the angel mind. It gets you. Everybody's gotta do that. Can't do that for you. Other than that, you ain't got anything to worry about. You and your children have nothing to worry about. You ain't worry about the children, they're gonna get it automatically. Because they ain't been dumbed down like we have. I'm gonna stand, bro, so I'm gonna leave it there. Assalamu alaikum. History of the cross, known by their works. What's the history of the cross? 500-year history of the cross. Murder, rape, destruction, deception, enslavement, burning, terrorizing. To maintain a slavery system, you must terrorize the people 24/7. They terrorize people from Africa and America for 400 years. Constant terror, 24/7. Rape, murder. In the name of Jesus. This was Christians, not Buddhists, not Hindus. Christians, in the name of Jesus, when they said Jesus cursed black people, they call them Ham, cursed them to be slaves and persecuted forever. In the name of Jesus, raped our women incessantly, pissed in our mouths, made us eat shit. And they took and tried to clean up, not clean it up, but make it look more fashionable, I guess, by calling it chitlins. That's after slavery, of course, after so-called slavery. Because what was endured was not slavery. Look up slavery. Look up slavery. It does include murder, rape, terror. This is a Holocaust. And then now they try to downplay it. Oh, that was 40 years ago. No, it wasn't 40 years ago. I don't care if it was a million years ago. It was 40 years ago. It lasts for 400 years. And it's enduring today. They took everything away from the slaves. Everything. Their name, their culture, their families, their religion, their minds, everything. Fed their children to alligators as alligator bait. And then they talk about what's going on in Gaza when they did 1,000 times worse. What's going over in Gaza now is simply just a miniature version of what they did. What they did was far worse than what's going on in Gaza. Gaza's bad. It's genocide. What they did was far worse and much longer. That's the legacy of Christianity. Murder, rape, disease. They wiped out the native population with genocide and disease. Smallpox blankets, knowing they was full with disease. Herpes, syphilis, gonorrhea from sleeping animals. So-called common cold was not common. It didn't exist here on this side of the world until they brought it here. Murder, rape. When they was raping our women, there was a cross hanging from their neck. And again, they taught black, and this was God's will. God's will. The enslavement of our people. And they continue on even today. That's the legacy of Christianity, the cross. So where's your rap sheet? Every time they arrest one of our people, your rap sheet. What's your rap sheet? How you going to judge people for murder when you're guilty of murder beyond imagination for hundreds of years? Hundreds of years. Theft. You stole this land and murdered its people. And you crushed the native people here. When the braves would go out hunting, you would come into the camps like cowards and kill the women and smash the children's brains out on the hooves of your horses. This is the legacy of Christianity. That's the legacy of it. The question is, if instead of Columbus coming here, Dracula came here, Beelzebub, Wolfman, Frankenstein, Satan, and they all came instead of Columbus, what could they have done that Columbus and those that followed him did? Satan is the God of this world. That's the God they're serving. They have known him by their works. What are the works of Christianity? What are the works of Christianity? Where's the works of Christianity? Evil, deception, mischief, bloodshedding. It goes on today. And what's going on in Gaza, just reflection and microcosm of what was done here in America for hundreds of years. Raped out women incessantly. They would even rape while they was out in the fields picking cotton. They would jump off their horse and tell them to bend over and rape them. And tell them to keep picking cotton while they was doing it. This is the kind of stuff that they would do. Make one slave defecate and enslave in the mouth of another slave, and then bound it up so he couldn't spit it out for 7 days. That's a legacy of slavery. You did it all in the name of Jesus. That's a legacy of slavery. Legacy of slavery. 40 years plus. Legacy of Christianity. Legacy of the cross. That's the legacy. That's the true legacy. So whose works are those? Who are you serving? Who are you serving? The legacy of the cross. Where's your rap sheet, America? Gog? Where's your rap sheet, Magog? Britain? Where's your mateship? Where's your rap sheet? Antichrist, false Israel? What's your rap sheet? Then they colonized Africa. They're stealing for ripping off everyone. That's the legacy of Christianity. They've been ruling for over 500 years. And now, the threat of nuclear war to finish off everything. That's a legacy of Christianity in the name of your Jesus.
Make it. Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their way. Come out of their pagan holiday where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, wanting to return, with their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tied in chains themselves, bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will. You and I, turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They're trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. Do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why is it that you want to be separated and be returned to your own? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their own 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
make it. Surely you ain't talking about us packing our bags and going westward or going out there in the land. Ain't no cities, no towns, no infrastructure out there. Surely you ain't talking about that, are you? No. We ain't going back to Africa. No. This is your land. Our sweat, our tears, our blood has earned us the right to the land. What God wants you to do is come out of their ways. Come out of their pagan holidays where you should be honoring Jesus. You are out here buying bunny rabbits and inviting your children to paint eggs for some Easter hunt. Come out of her. Get the Santa Claus out of your house and a tree that is the way of the pagans. Come out of her. St. Valentine's Day. What the heck is that? Excuse me. Come out of her name. Come out of her religion. Come out of her culture. Come out of her way of life. Come out of her educational system.
Put it back to their people. When they was put off on the shores of North America. And this ship, Jesus, that John Hawkins brought our best hero. They stood and stared at it disappearing in the horizon, crying, watching to return, with their hands stretched out towards that ship, and tied in chains themselves bound together. And when they was put off on this memorable shows, they stood there staring at that ship that brought them to a strange land and a strange people who could not speak either one's language. Now they have to live in a strange country and a strange people who had proven to them every mile from their native land that they were going to be the worst enemies that they ever lived with. They were going to be the people that would destroy them. They soon discovered that on this ship that they were being brought here on. I don't know how we should say anything in the name of Jesus of good for us when this ship was named Jesus. This is how that we have always been deceived by the white man, trying to use Jesus, the name Jesus, to lull us off in a mental sleep, thinking that we are on our way to heaven. This is terrible. My beloved brothers and sisters, this is very hard for us to even to accept today. Imagine our parents standing crying to return to their native land and people, and you here today crying to stay with the very enemy that brought our fathers in subjection to their will, you are now turning your face from your own native land and turning it back towards our own prison house and our own enemies who have destroyed us and seeks to further destroy us. How do you feel? How do you feel? Not wanting to return to your people. They are trying to make love with the very people that destroyed you and your parents. How do you feel acting such? And even today, they are beating and shooting you down throughout the country. There is no justice here for you and me. Why should not you want to be separated and be returned to your home? I ask you that question. Think over your parents on the eastern shore of North America, crying and praying to God to be returned to their arms 400 years ago. How would they like, or you like to see them rise up in the judgment condemning you for being such fools as now want to live in the land that absolutely enslaved them and killed them and beat them for 300 long years here. They would condemn you as being fools for not wanting to be separated and go to your own, build up a nation for yourself after the white man say you are free. Remember that.
Assalamu alaikum, sisters and brothers. Sulman Rahim here, Veteran of Covenant. Okay, brothers and sisters, it's been a year now, and We're finally home after 40 years in Arabia. I'm reporting to you from Arabia. Finally home after 40 years. Right? And so we've been here a year now. When there was an agreement made, a former slave master, he said, we had a choice. Stay here or leave. Right? So we chose our inheritance, Arabia. So we left. And half the original people decided they wanted to give up their inheritance and trade it for a place in America in reconciliation with their former slave master. That's their choice. They chose, said, we don't want to go over to Arabia. We don't go to where it's sand and all that stuff. We want to stay here in America. We've been here all our lives, been here 40 years, born here, right? And we can make peace with our slave master. Okay, so they decided to stay. And so after a year, right, we're getting reports of how things are going over there. And it doesn't sound too good. How things are going over in America with their reparations. Because they was given, they got 6 states, I believe. Yeah, see? Yeah. Yeah, they got those 6 states right there. That's what Farrakhan told them. They was listening to Farrakhan. Farrakhan promised them, they stay there, 6 states, right? Had their own land. And they can make reconciliation with the former slave master. They're not devils. They're not devils. They're human beings. They just had a rough, they were just, did some things wrong, but now they're going to make amends and make reparations. So 6 states, and in addition to that, they gave everybody $1 million. Everybody stayed $1 million. Okay? Say, thank you, Farrakhan. They're so happy. Thank you, Farrakhan. Thank you, Farrakhan. Man, you got 6 states. That's what you promised us. We got 6 states. They're thanking you. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? And this was a year ago. They got the 6 states. Thank you, Farrakhan. Right? Everybody got $1 million. Everybody $1 million. And they're rejoicing. Oh man, they're so happy. Hey, we came, man. We made it. We got America, man. We got reconciliation for a master. We got 6 states. Everybody got $1 million. We're all rich. That was a year ago when we left. Okay, so we're in Arabia. They're still back there in America. And now we're getting reports a year later. This was the way it was a year ago, man. They were so happy. They were so happy. Right? And now we get reports of what's going on right now. Let's see. Oops, it says a power failure. Great power failure in those 6 states. Power failure. And it's just those 6 states. Right? So, and now they have big and massive. They came asking to turn the power. Well, why can't they do it? Oh, Farrakhan didn't train anybody. He was telling you about 6 states, but he never prepared you for them. So nobody knows how to do it. How to turn the power grid back on. So now he's begging, man, master, can you come and turn this thing back on for us? I mean, you would think that if he told them 6 states and promised them that he would have prepared them for it, right? Their schools and education, whatever they needed for that. But I guess they didn't, because they said over there now he's begging the former master to come and turn the power back on. And then what? I mean, this is all that's happening now. I mean, I'm getting these imports in now. A year later, it's like they're coming in every hour. Power grid failure, right? Then say, oops, crop failure. All of a sudden, there's no. They say, they looked and the farmers when they doing the farmers said, oh. So then they had master, what's happening here? How come you know, right? Our crop. They found that the land they gave them wasn't that fertile. A year later, nothing's growing. Crop failure. And now they master, what's happening here? Right? And then, I mean, all these things, every hour back's coming in, right? And then they look, you know, and they had, you know, a year ago they had plenty of food on the shelves, right? And now, they look there now and all the food's gone. It's gone. And she said, what am I going to do here? Food's gone. The house is empty. So he said, Master, we need some food. Well, how come you can't produce your own food? I mean, you want your own country. You got your own states. That's your country. Then you run it. What are you calling us for? Right? So they'll be praying. And then, oops, no fuel. There's Master, no fuel there. Well, you got to buy your fuel. You got to produce your own fuel. What you calling us for? You got your own 6 states now. What you calling us for? Go and get some fuel. You got money, right? You got your own states. So you got to get your own. What you calling us for? You said you wanted your own, so now you got it. And you got your reparation, so we don't owe you anything anymore. We don't owe you anything anymore, so what you calling us for? We don't owe you anything. You said you agreed to 6 states and $1 million per person. You took that instead of your inheritance, what you call the Abrahamic covenant, Arabia. You know, your brothers and sisters, they left, they took that was offered to them, they took it. And you said, no, I want this instead. So now you got it. So what you calling us for? Oh, no communications. Oh, man. No communications, right? No medical facilities. So what's going on, Master? Wait a minute, hold on. That's you. What you calling us for? That's yours. You got to handle that stuff. You want us to handle it for you? You want independence, now you have it. I mean, wow, this stuff was coming every hour, man. Instead, like a year, they was celebrating. And now they crying and begging the Master, hey, we got all these problems here. I said, wait a minute, that's yours. Why don't you come us about your problems? You have to work those out. Right? No transportation, I mean, no planes, no nowhere. We don't know about fly the planes and drive the trucks and the boats and stuff and to go and get this stuff. What would you done that for? You wanted this, you got it. So go ahead and get to train your own pilots, build your own planes, build your own boats and right? You see what I'm saying? Transportation, build your own trucks. What you call it for? Yeah, Master, we see this. You said you wanted 6 states, you got it. You want $1 million per person. That was the reparations. So now if you didn't pay people to take care of this, how's that our problem? You're independent now. You're really free now. Oops, no fuel, the gas station's empty. I can't drive, eh? And no gas. Man, wow. All this stuff happened like for a year. They thought that everything was great, and all of a sudden everything ran out. So I guess what happened? Everything was there when they got it, and then it ran out. They had to, for them to replace the fuel, to get the farms going. So they was left with that stuff. The factory was full. I mean, warehouses full. Then you had to keep they thought that was just going to, I guess they thought it was just going to be there, just by itself. They didn't prepare for it. See? And they ain't trained any engineers and scientists and architects and stuff. They ain't, business, they didn't train anybody. So Farrakhan, he told you he's going to get this for you, but he didn't prepare you for it. He didn't get anybody to handle this stuff. So what was that all about? So now he asked the master, hey, don't call on me. You was here, you had it when you was here with me. You said you want independence, you wanted reparations, so you gave it to you. Well, call on your brothers over there. They left, they handled their own business. You said you want to stay here. Right? See? You don't have any professionals or technicians, scientists, doctors, none of that. See? I mean, that's what, because I mean, if you're going to set reparation, you should be preparing for that, right? So if he was telling you about reparation, you should be preparing for it. If he said God said that's where he's going to get you, so if God told him he's going to get that for you, then he should, like when God told Noah there was a flood coming, to only build an ark, so he started building an ark. And so you should start preparing for the 6 states and the reparations, but apparently you didn't. And so now, the devil said, look, hold it. We want total separation. I mean, look, we don't want you to call us no more. We don't want you to call us no more. Because you're wearing us. You want your own country. You got your own land. Right? You got money, $1 million, all this stuff, right? And so now we got to protect your money and everything too? No, you have to create your own money. You have to do all these things, your own wealth, not ours. Right? So we're going to cut you off from that too. That's all economics. So they go and tell all the people all the white folks, right? Because all the black folks, now all the black folks is either in Arabia or in those 6 states. That's the solution. You had to be one way or the other. There couldn't be no integration, that kind of stuff. That's the deal. You just said one or the other. So all the black folks are there, ain't no integration, that kind of stuff, right? Black folks are there, one or the other, so they're there. So he said, okay, right? So they just say, we're going to take our money because we don't know what y'all doing over there. You have your own money, you have your own wealth. So what they do is they tell all the white folks, say, protect your money, right? Transfer your money into gold. Transfer all your dollars into gold. Okay. Now remember, they gave everybody $1 million a piece. So everybody got $1 million worth a piece, right? And so they transfer it to gold. And then what happens is that what they do is they start just printing money. White folks just start printing money. You understand what that means? That's inflation, right? Because if you got $1 million of gold, a million ounces of gold, say $1 million ounces of gold, understand this, and you got 1 million certificates, then you say each certificate is worth 1 ounce. If you got 1 million ounces, each certificate is worth 1 ounce. Understand that? If you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one of those certificates is worth 1 million. If you want to say trade with the certificates, each one of the certificates is worth 1 ounce of gold, right? But if you take and print, you say you got 1 million ounces of gold and you got 1 million certificates, each one. But say you print twice as many certificates, you got 2 million. Well, then each certificate is only worth 50 cents now, because you got to connect that to the gold. Well, you print 4 times, then each one's worth a quarter. So the more you print, the less they worth, because those certificates has to equal what the gold is. You understand? So the more you print money, the less, right? The less they're worth. So if you print twice as much money, right, there's less gold. You understand? So $1 is worth 1 ounce of gold, which that's right. Then if you print double that amount of dollars, then each one's worth half an ounce. You understand? That's what printing money without increasing their wealth does. That's inflation. So what happens is they keep printing. They get down to where $100 is worth a penny. But see, that doesn't affect their people. They told to protect their money because they transfer their money to gold. So gold still has its value. It's just the dollars don't. It still got the same amount of gold. But the dollars, they get down to a penny. So you can't buy it. You had $1 million, now your $1 million worth of $5. That's all it's worth. Maybe $1. Hardly worth anything. Oh, hey, that's our money. You gotta have your own money, you gotta control your own wealth. You can't keep coming at us what you're doing. And you think they wouldn't do that? Yeah, you've been a Gaza lately? You see what happened to the trees they made with the so-called natives? Kept telling me you had a forked tongue because they kept making trees with them, then they broke the trees. And took their land and genocide and everything else. But no, they wouldn't do that to you. See? Because now you have, your money's worth nothing. They haven't lost anything. Because once that money's worthless, it's no good, right? Then you burn it up, throw it away, it's worth nothing. The people still got gold. And even if they take it, hold on to money, hope to increase again, they're just using a different certificate, using another form of money. So it's still worth nothing. That $1 million you had, you were so happy with it, now it's probably worth maybe $1. So you can't buy anything $1. Plus the economy's collapsed because everything is failing, and you don't know how to repair it. You don't know how to get telecommunications. You don't know how to do any of this stuff. You don't know how to engineer, build a house. You don't know how to do anything because Farrakhan didn't. Right? He didn't prepare you. He told you, "I'll give you 6 days." He told you, "Listen to me, right? So now you're broke, and your economy is gone. You have no food, no electricity, no power, anything. Right? It's not their fault. They gave you what you asked for. You saw your inheritance for that. And then they closed the border. Because you're going to try to get back into America now. We want to come back in, Master. No, we don't want you back in here. We sorry, we want to come in. No. That's you chose. You stay there. They closed the border, so you can't get back in here. You can't get back in America, into what you call your land now? Swaziland or something? Farrakhan. Maybe you call it Traveland. Farrakhan. They met the Farrakhan. Right? So they close the borders, you can't. Because now you're hungry and everything else, your money's worthless. Oh God, come back, Master, I'll come back work for you, I'll work for Popeyes, I'll do anything you want. No, remember, now blacks, either they over in Arabia or they in that land. There are no blacks in America, in places, just in that land, that you 6 states. And now you're starving, you ain't got your money's worthless, nothing works, and they close the border. Right? And then you see Master, you on the phone, you talking to the guy that you kept treating, help you. Hey, we finally got rid of niggas. Finally got rid of them. See, on the phone. Yeah, it worked. We sold them no reparations. We sold them that used car. You turned the miles back and everything else, and they bought it. See? They could have had a BMW. They could have had a Lamborghini. They sold that for a BMW that looked good. Damn thing didn't work. And now they're starving, living in tents. Praying. So what? Then what next? What we gonna do, Farrakhan? You told us to take reparations, so we did. But they gave us everything we asked for. What we gonna do, Farrakhan? What we gonna do? Pray. That's his answer. Pray. That's your reparations. Like Elijah Muhammad said, he had a big picture. We leaving, and blacks staying on the shore, the ones stay behind, and they was whooping their ass. Right? Because they thought you think they want to give you some land and take care of you? You think they want to do that? And go bankrupt, give everybody $1 million? How much that is? If it's 17 million, if it's 17 million times 17 million times a million is like $17 trillion, I think, something like that there. Then they're going to do all that for you. They want to get rid of you. So now they have succeeded. Because they closed the border. And what you going to do? You want to fight to come out? They closed the border. They got the military around there. They finally got rid of you. No more black problem, no more Negro problem anymore. One group's out of here, another group that's here. They're gone, and our hands are clean. We gave them what they wanted. Well, anything. Okay. God honors contracts. Remember he honored the contract with Jacob. Esau sold his birthright for a bowl of soup to Jacob, when it was Esau's inheritance, and God honored it. Okay, Jacob, it's yours. You're the one. And that's the deal. Because he ain't your friend. Farrakhan ain't your friend. Pray, pray, pray. That's the answer. And this homeland you was promised, you never rejected it. So now you got what you asked for. So if they gave you reparations today or tomorrow, how would that scenario not play out like that? Well, they say, okay, you got it. Tell me how the scenario wouldn't play out like that. And tell me why they wouldn't do it. They love you so much, they're going to say, okay, we're going to take care of them. I mean, why should they go out their way to take care of you when you was right here? You was working at Popeyes and living in the get up on Section 8, all that stuff right here where they... Because you know they're trying to get rid of that stuff right now. Trump's trying to get rid of all that stuff right now. Because they're closing on you don't realize it. Anyway, that's just, that's what's happening over in America. Wow. Of course, come here. Disaster over there. And, oh, I just got a call. Oh, wait, hold on. Really? You serious? Our ambassador just got a call from I don't know what they call it Conland or something. I forgot what it is, something to call it right there. That 6th day. They begged us to come and help. Can they come over here? Can we come and get them? Really? Can we come and get them and bring them? Oh no. Now he went and asked Master Farrakhan Muhammad, right? He said, no, hell no. We ain't going to get them. And I agree with that. Yeah, the Master said he said, let's call him, and he passed the word to Master Farrakhan Muhammad. Master Farrakhan said, send him back. Master, no, we can't come and get you. You chose, you made your choice, live with it. But die, whatever the situation is. Wow. I can't believe that. They actually, right, sent a message over. I don't know how they did. I don't have any communication with it. Somehow they got the information over to them. Said, we please come and get them. Nope. Said, no, tell them no. And don't waste time communicating with us anymore. You got your land. You got your reparations. You got your money. You got Farrakhan as your leader. Yeah, tell him. Talk to him. Let him straighten out for you. He didn't want to sell you the idea. He was a salesman. So you on that idea of reparations. We told you. Right? Suleiman, right? He was the messenger till you told him, look, man, let's go home. You said no. You chose not to. Okay, bro, since that's a sad story. But I guess that's it. Is that it? Oh, so they're not getting more reports on this. Okay, he says that was Matthew Prophet Muhammad's final decision, and I think they closed communications off from there. So, like I said, brothers and sisters, we got those. Wow, they came in. All that came in today, man. I came in fast. After a whole year, total collapse. Now they're begging it. Somebody help them. We can't do it. Maybe Master help you. We won't do it. Assalamu alaikum. Update, brothers and sisters, got another late report in that they said, well, if you want to come and get us, well, we at least send them some food. They begged, said, please send them some food. Master Muhammad said, no, we got to send them a damn thing, nothing, zero. He said, please just send some food. No, I just got that in. He says, if you can't come and get us, please send some food. He says, no. He refused. That's what I just got the information from the ambassador. He said, they sent that, and he's read to me. He says, no. He said, please, just please send us some food. He said, no way. You made your choice, case closed. Okay, just got that in, brothers and sisters. Assalamu alaikum.